All right, guys, we're getting ready to go clean the chicken coop, straighten up the dog pens. And while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and clean up my hog pen today. We're going to take you along with us and show you a little bit of what we do every day and give you a little bit of information as we go along. We'll see you in a minute. All right, right now we're going to take our Brittany Spaniel out and hook him up so we can get the rest of our stuff done. Kaylee's got him, and as you can see, he is very high strung. I think he walks her instead of her walking him. But we're going to take him back here. We're going to hook him up to this tree so he can play, so we can get busy with what we got to do. If you're going to get a Brittany Spaniel, make sure you read up on them before you get them, because they are very high-strung dogs. They take a lot of maintenance and a lot of care. They think they need to be with you 24/7. So when we leave him, he always has a panic attack. We come home and he's yelling and squalling because he can hear us getting out of the vehicle and can't wait for us to get back in the house. So we keep him inside. We have one, his name is Flute, by the way. We have one we call Half Pint. I'll show you here in a minute. We keep him outside because he is a little peer. He likes to hike his leg and pee on everything, so he cannot stay inside. If it's really, really cold, we put him in the garage, just so he doesn't get too cold. We're going to walk over here now and show you Half Pint. He is our little buddy that stays outside. Him and Georgia are playmates, so they like to stay beside each other so they can keep each other company, which is a good thing. There's Half Pint. How you doing, Half Pint? You want to say hello to everybody? You want to say hello to everybody? Sit. Hey. Sit. Good boy. He's a good boy. That's our little Half Pint. These guys are crazy. They keep pecking my boots. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's up with that. She just blew in my face. We give them a lot of attention, usually hold them and pet them. I don't know if that's the deal or not. They've already ate this morning. As you can hear, Georgia's still out there squealing away, trying to get my attention too. All of our animals are spoiled. I don't know what's up with my boots. It's funny. Alright, now Kaylee Bug's going to go get the wheelbarrow and take it to the chicken coop. And I'm going to go onto the garage and get the shovel, the flat scraper, and the dustpan and broom, because that is what I use to clean out the coop. You got it? Doing alright? Alright, take it over and park it in front of the chicken coop door. I'm going to take you guys with me, and I'm going to go get the stuff that I need inside the garage. Turn on the light so we're not in the dark. Go over here to the toolbox. The lighting isn't that great in here, guys. I'm sorry. Look through the drawers, find the things I need. Where did he put my flat scraper? Scraper, where are you? Aha, there it is. So we got this. Go over here. And the flat shovel. Here, hold this, Kaylee. Hold this. Hold this. Need the broom. I had Kaylee to move the golf cart out, so now we're going to go out to the chicken coop and start. Go ahead. have it, all of it right up along the side right there. So I can get up in there and see what's going on. This little guy, we got to go with our female Silky. It's a little Silky Roo. But we have him in here quarantined until he gets used to the property and being here so he doesn't run off. We call him Butterfinger. Butterfinger! Butterfinger! The little Silky female we have is white. And I'll have to show you her later, but we call her Snowball. Alright, we're going to get started on this chicken coop and get it done. We're kind of cramped in here right now because of it being so cold. We set this second coop with Butterfinger in it up into the big girl's coop just to keep him warmer because I didn't want him to freeze to death being outside by himself. But I wanted to show you just how dirty, with 28 to 32 chickens, a coop this size can get in a week's time. This is why you need to come in and scrape and clean your nest and change out the floor. Because could you imagine breathing this if you had to sleep in here at night? The fans for circulation in the summertime. And of course, Kaylee collects feathers. But now we're going to get started. Can you get me the scraper up here? I need a scraper and the dustpan. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to take these over here. Give me a minute to get the camera set up. And I'm going to show you my routine. Alright guys, I'm going to start my routine. I'll get through. I'm going to scrape off all of this off of all these surfaces. And of course they followed me. They're going to make it hard for you to hear. You got to scrape this because for some reason they'll get up here and sit. Butterfinger getting poop all over him. Calm down, Butterfinger. Get that off there. Feathers and all the stuff you can't get. Can't be squeamish to clean a chicken coop because it gets on you, it gets on your hands. You just gotta go in and take a shower when you're done. Alright. Before I get too started, I'm noticing there's eggs. I am going to let Kaylee bring the camera over and I'm going to show you. We've already collected 5 this morning. I'm going to let her show you what is in the nest. And then I'm going to trade places with her while she collects the eggs and she can run them in the house for me real fast. There's one in that one, some of that one, there's some over here in the one.
You can kind of see them.
We have 4 in that one. We have 1 back here.
Yep.
And then if you go to clear down to the left on the very end, there's another one.
There's actually 2 Mom.
Right.
Here.
Alright, so I'm going to let her collect these. And I'm going to take a break while she runs those into the house for me. Because I need her back to operate the camera because there's nowhere to really set it in here. That one is actually the Silky's egg. There's a little teeny weeny white one that belongs to the Sea Bright, which is a tiny, tiny chicken. Actually, if you hold on a minute, I'll show you the Sea Bright. See the little tiny one that's no bigger than a pigeon, the black and white. Right there, the black and white one that she's really no bigger than a pigeon. But she lays a teeny tiny egg. Did you find the Sea Bright's egg?
Yeah.
This egg belongs to her. Right here. Then you have the Silkies. And then, of course, all the other chickens that are laying. Anyways, we're going to run these into the house, and we'll be back with you in just a minute. All right, as I said before, you want to scrape all the wall seams that they get up. I mean, I don't know how they get up here. This is crazy. But you want to make sure you got all these boards here clean. Because in South Georgia, we have roaches that come out of the woodwork. It doesn't matter how clean your house is. Doesn't matter how clean anything is. They're there. And of course, this one under the roost is always a mess. I'll just knock it down. Make sure you get all of it, because if you don't, it smells something awful. This part here you might want to do every couple of days, the part behind the roost. And just to ensure that your coop stays clean, your chickens stay healthy. Because, could you imagine breathing your own poo? I couldn't. So you just want to make sure that your coop stays clean. It doesn't have to be the cleanest coop in the world, but I mean, you come in and you do this every couple of days. You clean the coop at least 2 or 3 times every couple of weeks. You're going to have some healthy, happy girls, and they're going to lay lots of eggs for you. As you see, they're all in here wondering what the heck I am doing. What are you doing, Nose? What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? What are you doing? Chicky, 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 chickies. Chicky, 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 chicky. I know, I'm crazy. Talking to chickens. Anyway, after you get that done, you go to your highest layer that they can get up on. Scrape it all down. I'll scrape the board clean like this, and then I'll brush it off into this pan and toss it out the door into our garden area. This. I'll pull it off into the pan, and I'll show you this. I'll take this full, I toss it out in this wheelbarrow, and then when we're done, we'll take it to our garden area where we plant in the spring. A paint scraper works really good for this. Just simple hacks that I learned that were really helpful, and it helps me do this fairly quick, so I don't put a lot of time into it having to clean a coop, but I get it done. Paint scraper, dustpan, broom, flat shovel. That's basically all I need to do this. Usually takes me about a half an hour and I'm done. And then in the summertime, of course, we tear it down. My husband comes in and we scrub it out, bleach it, and all that good stuff. Let it air dry before we put everything back in. When we first moved here, I only had 4 chickens, no coop. My husband built this small little coop for me here, and it holds about 32 to 35 girls comfortably. And there's no fighting, no squabbling. They all seem to have enough room, and they have plenty of nests, so they're happy. After you get the top layer, you want to come down where your nest boxes are, where they jump on a perch. You want to get that clean. Then we're going to take the boards out, clean out the nest, and then I go to the floor. What is he barking at?
I don't know.
I'm going to take these. My husband made my nest boxes in platforms, so it's easier for me to take up, to clean out the nesting, and put in clean. So now I'm going to do that. And it's going to be hard because I'm used to doing it without this in here, so I'm going to have to work around this. So just stick with me here, and we'll get it. Take the first one out. And I usually stand them right up against the wall. And as you see, that makes this nest box lower. If you wanted no nest box, you could have them that low. But I'd rather have them a little bit higher because it gives the chickens a little more privacy. So then you take a second. Make sure you get it out. And you're liable to see, I told you South Georgia has roaches. You are liable to see roaches flying out of these nests because they like to get in there and eat on the chicken food. Right there. Look on the wall. Show them the wall. That is what we try to keep out of here. It is impossible here where we live. In West Virginia, I didn't have this problem. Here, they are everywhere. Right. I put spray, non-toxic spray. I use Dermatitis Earth. It doesn't get them. So here I am trying to kill these suckers every single time I clean. And that's another reason down here you want to clean your coops. At least as often as I said. You know, the boards maybe every other day, every 2 days. These at least 2 to 3 times every 2 weeks. But I will scrape this all out into the floor. And sometimes an egg or something will bust. So it will get in the nest, and you don't want that because that attracts these kinds of bugs. I try to think of it this way. I'm eating the eggs. The chickens are giving me the eggs. The cleaner I keep my coop, the cleaner my food that I'm ingesting is. I mean, that's one way to look at it. And the bedding that I use is pine chips from Tractor Supply. I swear by Tractor Supply. But I do a mixture. I like my big flake. I think this time I only got the little flake because I didn't go get a bag. So I will use it for everything. But usually I like my big flake in the nest. And you might want to wear a mask in here. I didn't today, kind of stupid because of the dust. Back up some.
I forgot mine.
But I like my big flake in the nest because the chickens like it better because it's fluffy. The flake on the floor tends to last longer. putting these back in. It's a little tricky with the extra house in here, but we got it. Alright, I need to move my birds out. I keep them underneath the coop. And as you see, somehow they manage to get nasty too. Scrape everything when you clean, guys. I'm telling you, the less old poo you have in here, the better your chicks are. Okay, after I take this all out, I need to take this out because I'm going to use it. So we will set that right here. Now I need my straight shovel, and I'm going to let Kaylee grab that for me. Just a standard flat shovel. And I'll take this shovel and I'll make sure I get everything out from under those nest boxes. The reason the straight shovel works so good is because you can get those surfaces, the round one cut. Okay, I have it all that spot, so I'm going to set my 1 feet container back down in. Alright, now I need the broom. She's going to have to grab that for me. I'm telling you guys, it's dusty in here. I think I'm going to take a break and have her run in and get my mask and hers just for her own health benefits. And here she finally comes with my mask. Seems like I've waited an hour on her. As you see, her hat says day off. Yeah, she usually has every day off. Nah, I'm lying. She helps me out a lot. Get this put on. Now maybe we can breathe a little bit better. Well, we can't breathe better, but we can breathe better, if that makes any sense at all. Nowadays, it doesn't seem to do anything without these masks. I want to get it to where I can get my other bin in here. Get it out of the way. Normally, I don't got to keep working around things because I don't have this extra coop in here. But as I stated, I'm afraid to put him out because I don't want the little farts to freeze to death. Alright, have my food bins back under there. Now I'm going to sweep this that way. As much as I can, because I'm about to move his pit in a minute and another bag of feed I have back there to get that corner. You can't shortcut it. You got to get the whole thing when you get it. This time next year, I hope to have a better setup. Maybe kennels outside. As far as I can get it this way. Alright, Alright, now she's going to step down because I'm going to start shoveling into the wheelbarrow. Okay. Now next step after we get so much piled up is you got to get it out of here. So that's where the wheelbarrow is in. Important facts. Like
Anyways, guys, when you have chickens, you gotta have somewhere to put them and a lot of responsibility for them. They produce you eggs, but you gotta have the responsibility to take care of them. You also need to keep them safe and healthy.
I've about got a full wheelbarrow going on here, and then I'm going to trade places with Kaylee, and I'm going to film her taking it out to our garden area. Okay, that's full enough. That one needs to go. All right, now we're going to take this wheelbarrow full out to the garden area. I'll get it. And we have to keep the fence up because during the planting season, if we don't, the chickens like to go in there and get into everything. Take it straight out to the center if you can. I know it's hard to get through there for these poles.
Yeah, it's getting stuck. It's not going.
Hold on.
What the?
Dump it right here in the center, and then we'll... Okay.
Guys, we got all that old nasty out, and then we're putting a fresh new in. But first, we're going to fill the nest with the bedding, and then put the bedding on the floor.
These bags are tough.
Yeah.
The part you guys didn't see, I went ahead and cleaned Butterfinger's tray out here too. It pulls out. So I'm going to put him some fresh bedding on there. But I also moved the pen and cleaned underneath a bit, so he wouldn't be in it. I'm too nasty. And And yes, he's a rude, but he needs something to bed down in at night. And I keep the wire on these door cages so our big rooster and him doesn't come in contact with each other, because the big rooster would kill him in this confined area if he thought he was messing with his hens. It's hard to get that nesting back there because of that cage. And I try to fill up certain nests fuller than others because there are a select few that they like to lay in. And it's usually the two at the end, one at this end, and the center one for some reason. That will fight over those nests, although there's all the other empty ones available. Okay, Lear. Anything you get in here, you just brush off. Because you gotta put it on the floor anyway. Always make sure to get plenty under my roost. Because that seems to be the messiest part of the coop. And so this pond smells really good. The bugs really don't like it that well, but we're not cleaning it for the bugs. And it keeps them kind of at bay. To make sure we get some Butterfingers, some fresh bedding on the floor. Scared the shit out of it. Sorry, Butterfinger, didn't mean to scare you.
He went up to the top part.
There is our little white silky in the center of all those chickens that we got Butterfinger for. That is our little hen. Her name is Snowball. She's a pretty little fuzzball. Alright guys, here is the clean coop. As you see, it looks 100% better than it did when we first walked in. All the nests have been cleaned, recoated with flakes. Top board has been scraped. Little Butterfinger had his cage all refreshed and done. As you can see, he's a spunky little thing. He can't wait to get out there to that little white one, Snowball. So I think I'm going to put her and him in the same pen together and just keep them pinned. We fed all the girls outside. And there is Mr. Roo doing his job watching. All right, we will be back with you later when we clean the pig pen. Okay guys, I just sent Kaylee Bug for a big red leaf rake. And here she comes. Okay, now we're going to take this in the wheelbarrow out here where all these nice pine needles fall, and I want to rake some up in the wheelbarrow for George's pen. We'll be back in just a few.
My mom is raking up pine needles to put in George's pen for tonight because it's going to be really, really cold tonight.
Now you can stop it for a minute. You gotta watch you don't rake up snakes around here. They like to lay in these pine needles. Okay, now we're going to take these over and we're going to spread them out on the floor of her pen. And then I'll probably put some in her box. Stop it here. The chickens are done with their feed. I'm going to let her out long enough to get this in here. What you guys didn't see is I already emptied her swimming pool that she uses her litter pan out, sprayed it out, cleaned it, and I fed her already. Run out for a bit, Georgia. Come on. Come on. Come on. Zoom in on her. She runs and plays in the yard, and then when I hold for her here in a minute, she'll come back to her pen, but I need her out while I can do this. Just break back down into dirt, so that's why I use them, but it keeps it from being so filthy and muddy, and it gives her some extra warmth. I usually try to do this once a week. I have to empty the litter pan about every day and clean it out, spray it out. Because she's used that litter pan since she's been in the house. So she just continues to use it. But I try to keep her clean too, because clean and healthy is important. Now I'm going to try to get her to come back and see if she'll do that.